author here, Assemblymember Frazier. Please step forward. It was election night last night, so please be gentle, because we're still trying to be cognizant of what's going on. But our other members will be coming in and out, so please feel free to go ahead and open when you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. AB 326 sets a 30-day deadline by which the Department of Industrial Relations must reimburse the collateral deposit for adjudicated Division of Labor Standards Enforcement prevailing wage hearings. I accept the amendment outlined in the analysis and would like to thank the Department and the State Building Trades for working with us on clarifying the amendment. Under current law, an employee on a construction job may file a claim with the division if they were not properly paid a prevailing wage. A contractor appealing the claim must post a cash deposit with the division, which includes the full amount of the assessment notice plus penalties. Although the statute stipulates that the cash funds deposited by the contractor shall be released at the conclusion of all administrative and judicial review, there is no deadline in the statute that states such funds shall be released in an expedited manner. As a result, releasing such funds can take months before the contractor is reimbursed. Two recent examples of this issue included a case where the cash deposit was $93,608 and a penny, and in another it was $284,873.21. In both cases, the claims against the contractors were dropped. These amounts were in addition to at least the equivalent amount already being held by the awarding bodies from the general contractor's contract balance. Unnecessarily tying up these funds can place innocent contractors in jeopardy of losing their businesses or creating financial hardship, as they must be unable to bid other jobs or meet payroll or even bonding capacity. Testifying in support on behalf of the Associated General Contractors of California is Paul Gladfelty, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members, Paul Gladfelty representing the Associated General Contractors. Assemblymember Frazier did an excellent job of summarizing, so I'll be brief. Essentially, what we're just trying to do here is to put a time limit in the statute so that when a settlement has been arrived at or there's been a final judgment, that those monies be returned back to the contractor in an expeditious manner, in this case 30 days. Ties up cash flow, having that money out there and not being returned expeditiously. So with that, we'd respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Chair, members, Cesar Diaz on behalf of the State Building and Construction Trades Council. I want to thank the author and the sponsors for working with us. Assemblymember Frazier has been a leader in ensuring that the prevailing wage is enforced and contractors are complying. He had a previous legislation that expanded the statute of limitations. We believe this bill fits right in with that after there is a resolution to a problem that the contractors are then able to get their money back from the DIR. And we thank him for his support and urge your aye vote.
Thank you. Mr. Gladfelty, I like your tie.
Thank you.
Please, supporters, please.
Good morning. Mr. Chair and members, Tracy Stevens representing the Construction Employers Association, also in support.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, Richard Markson for the Western Electrical Contractors Association, the Plumbing, Heating, Cooling Contractors of California, the Air Conditioning Trade Association, the California chapters of the American Fire Sprinkler Association, and Associated Builders and Contractors of San Diego, all in strong support. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Thank you. Any others in support? Seeing none. Well, Mr. Frazier, I think no one's here to make a motion. We don't have a quorum yet, but if you would like to close, and when the item comes up, when we have enough members.
Mr. Chair, I'd just like to thank your staff and your committee for working with us on this issue, and look forward to an aye vote. Thank you, sir.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. And I think you did take the minutes.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. It's all set out there. So thank you so much. And we'll go ahead and we'll take up your item when we have a quorum.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Next, we will have Assemblywoman, I believe, Burke. Next, please. We have two items.
Yes.
What's first?
You.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and begin with 2288, and we'll build off of that.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair and Senators. Assembly Bill 2288 helps encourage women to pursue careers in the building and construction trades and ensures that students in pre-apprenticeship programs are taught essential elements of the different trades. Historically, a construction career has not been a traditional choice for women when deciding what type of career to pursue after high school. Exposure to different career options like those in the building and construction trades can be critical in opening the doors to new choices and solid living wage jobs. To increase the percentage of women in the trades, this bill requires workforce development boards to ensure programs that receive Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act funds develop plans that expand the outreach, recruitment, and retention of women in the building and construction trades. Additionally, AB 2288 ensures uniformity in the building trades pre-apprenticeship program funded by Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act by utilizing the Multi-Craft Core Curriculum, or MC3, adopted by the California Department of Education. In 2014, as part of the State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Tom Torlexon's Career Readiness Campaign, 9 California Partnership Academy high schools from across the state have implemented the MC3. This pre-apprenticeship curriculum exposes students to the tools of the various trades, the safe handling of those tools, the structure of the industry, the construction process, and an orientation to apprenticeship itself. AB 2288 will give those in pre-apprenticeship programs a well-rounded introduction to the trades and help women break down the barriers in a male-dominated field. With me today in support is it's actually Jeremy, with the State Building and Construction Trades, and Meg Vassy, the Executive Director of Tradeswomen, Inc.
Good morning, honored chair and members of the committee and guests in the audience. My name is Meg Vassy. I am the Executive Director of Tradeswomen, Inc. I'm a 37-year member of IBEW Local 302. I went through an apprenticeship program, and I work with the tools directly for over 25 years in the field before I was able to attend an esteemed university, get my law degree, and come back and work as an advocate for women and other disadvantaged workers seeking entry into the construction trades. We are very pleased that we have been able to partner with the State Building Trades Council and other apprenticeship programs in the state to partner in the efforts of opening up doors to women in the trades. And we're pleased with this bill, which talks about pre-apprenticeship, which is very important as another pathway and an important pathway to open up careers for women in the trades. We have worked directly with the MC3 curriculum, the multi-core craft curriculum, in the pre-apprenticeship programs that we partner with. Most recently, we have worked closely with a WIB-funded program called Rising Sun to work with that curriculum to graduate 19 women in a class that they're just now going to work. They graduated 2 weeks ago, and we have already put several to work in the building trades crafts. The multi-core craft curriculum allows us to expose, well, first of all, it allows the apprenticeship programs to know what the curriculum that graduate has. That they know that they've been exposed to multiple crafts. That's very important, particularly for women, because there are so many crafts and really great apprenticeship programs that the public as a whole, and particularly women, have no idea are available to them. And the multi-core craft curriculum, by working with the building trades as a group and exposing them to all the options available to them, as well as giving them a solid safety grounding, a solid chance to see the fabulous training programs that the apprenticeship programs make available to those who enter their training, the regular apprenticeship programs training facilities offer. They give the women that we work with this really fabulous foundation. We think it's really important to have a clear curriculum that everyone knows where they, what they were exposed to during their pre-apprenticeship program. We are working, and other groups are working very closely for various kinds of direct entry and facilitated entry, which allows graduates of pre-apprenticeship programs to gain a leg up, so to speak, based upon their commitment to the pre-apprenticeship program and their successful graduation. This also is important for the registered apprenticeship programs to know what they were offered and what they have successfully graduated from and what that curriculum looks like. That is why we're in favor of this bill. We're in favor of this bill opening up pre-apprenticeship opportunities for women to make pre-apprenticeship programs understand what the the necessity to do outreach and retention for women, as well as to work with the building trades and have a clear understanding of the curriculum they should be using.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Jeremy Smith here on behalf of the State Building and Construction Trades Council, the proud sponsors of this piece of legislation. The previous speaker did a very good job covering many of the topics I wanted to cover, but I'll say a few other things. First of all, this bill is about outreach to women. Young women, young men for that matter, at the end of their high school career or just after college, unless their mom or dad was in the construction trades, they aren't thinking about a career there. And so it's a great career. It provides a middle-class livelihood, family-sustaining wages, benefits, health care, retirement. So urging local workforce development boards, when they're giving money out to third-party pre-apprenticeship programs, to have a plan to outreach to women, we think is an excellent step to get more women interested in the trades, because it's a great career for them, and it provides can provide a great livelihood. The second thing I want to say and talk about just briefly is the multi-craft core curriculum. The most recent numbers from the Division of Apprenticeship Standards show us that about 85% of the state-approved apprenticeship programs in the state are multi-craft core curriculum, MC3 compliant. There are 333 programs that curriculum would ease access into. There are 42 programs that use another curriculum, the NCCER. The opponents of the bill today are here to talk about that, and I wanted to say a few things about that compared to the MC3. So you're going to have the MC3 is going to give pre-apprentices, if they decide to take the next step to apprenticeship, it's going to ease their transition into an apprenticeship program. As Meg said, it gives a very good overview of the crafts, of the tools you use. It was developed by national apprenticeship coordinators in consultation with contractors. All of our programs, all of the joint labor management programs are run and managed by contractors and unions. So you have the perspective of the employer community as well as the worker community involved in creating the curriculum. So it's a terrific curriculum. And again, as I said, it eases transition into the vast majority of state-approved apprenticeship programs in this state. Secondly, women shouldn't have to worry about how they're going to get the curriculum and worry about having to pay for the curriculum. Any third-party program that does the MC3, gets the MC3, does not charge pre-apprentices for that curriculum. Same with our apprenticeship programs, the joint labor management programs. They don't charge apprentices for the training. On the other hand, the opponents today are going to be here talking about the NCCER. They do charge. As a matter of fact, according to their own data, they had, in their memo they provided to the committee, 256,000 modules, is what they call the different parts of their curriculum, completed between 2011 and 2015. They had 74,000 pre-apprenticeship modules completed over the same time period. I have in my hand their curriculum catalog, or a snapshot from it. It's the Boilermaker modules. Each module in this catalog for every craft costs $20 for the person who wants to get trained. So between 2011 and 2015, for apprenticeship modules completed, the NCCER made $5 million off of workers they were training. For the pre-apprenticeship modules, the 74,000 I mentioned, they made just over $1 million. This curriculum is a profit driver for the NCCER. I only printed out 3 pages of this because it's 95 pages long. This is just the Boilermaker section. There's 36 modules for the Boilermaker section. So an apprenticeship program using the Boilermaker modules, a Boilermaker apprentice would have to pay $720. Now, I don't know how many of these modules a pre-apprentice would have to use, but however many it is, they'd have to pay for it. We don't think workforce investment boards, workforce development boards, should be in the business of using federal taxpayer dollars to fund third-party pre-apprenticeship programs that are going to then charge the pre-apprentices they're training for the curriculum to get the training. AB 2288 does a good job of laying out or Ms. Burke did a good job of laying out why this bill is important. We wanted to give you a little bit of the backstory, and for those reasons, we're happy to be here to support the bill and urge your aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Those in support, please step forward.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, Mitch Seaman with the California Labor Federation, also in support.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Tim Kremens, International Union of Operating Engineers, in full support.
Mike West, District Council 16, Painters and Allied Trades, on behalf of Madison Hull, who is not only my apprentice, but is also a member of Tradeswomen, Inc. We're in strong support.
Mr. Chair, members, Joe Cruz on behalf of the State Council of Laborers. I want to thank the author. We're in strong support of the bill.
Good morning. Mike Monaghan on behalf of the California State Association of Electrical Workers, the California State Pipe Trades Council, the Western States Council of Sheet Metal Workers, and the International Union of Elevator Constructors in strong support.
Okay, thank you. Any others in support? Seeing none, can we have those against or in opposition step forward?
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Tim Johnson. Can we go to the table? Tim Johnson, representing the National Center for Construction Education, NCCER. Contrary to what my friend who spoke before me said, we are not here in opposition to the bill. We are all for as much training and workforce development in any setting that is available as we can be. We are absolutely in agreement that non-traditional populations, particularly women, that we should make every effort to have outreach to them and to try to drive more women into our industry. I think all of us who are in this industry would agree that increasing that number is a noble goal. You talk to most good welding instructors out there, they'll tell you that if you can find a good woman welder, they typically will make fine welders, in many cases much better than men, because of eye-hand coordination, because of artistic ability, because of a lot of different reasons. Really good welding instructors are looking for women constantly. So we are here only asking for inclusion. We are heavily engaged in the state of California. Our NCCR, the National Center for Construction Education and Research, was created 20 years ago this year. And it was created by 125 contractors from around the country. Every one of our programs, and we have 70 different craft areas, are developed by subject matter experts from industry. Our pre-apprenticeship core curriculum is exactly the same. It is 9 modules that lead directly into each one of our crafts, and it is used in pre-apprenticeship settings around the country. In fact, all of our curriculums meet all state and federal apprenticeship guidelines in its development, so we are there. Just a couple of quick points to focus on. Number one, we talked about the cost of our curriculum, and some statistics were thrown around. Yes, it does cost money to develop curriculum. Everybody who develops curriculum invests money and spends money. NCCR is a 501c3. We are a not-for-profit. Every dollar that we generate in sale of curriculum is reinvested in the updating, constant updating of our curriculum. Generally what happens in a lot of the programs, and I can't speak to all of them that use our curriculum, is that they will purchase a book, they will use it for 2 or 3 years. The individual student doesn't always buy that book directly. It's bought by the training institution, and in many cases is part of the tuition or part of the scholarship that individual might have. Just a couple of quick notes about our utilization in the state. We've got 38 accredited training sponsors utilizing our systems in over 108 locations in California. We have 13 accredited assessment centers. There are 6 unions across the country who are currently utilizing our curriculum, and some of them in a pre-apprenticeship situation. Approximately 100 school districts in the state of California have adopted our program. The California Department of Corrections is using our programs in 35 different adult facilities throughout the state. That's male and female. We are in more than 50 California community colleges, and we are also in the California State University system. A big part of what we do is Youth Build. Youth Build is a national partner of the NCCER. We are in 6 Youth Build programs around the state of California. 2 in Los Angeles, 1 in Palmdale, 1 in Redding, and one in San Jose, and one in Inglewood. We are in favor of the proponents' view of this bill, trying to increase training, trying to increase the number of women who are in the program. We have, and I'll close with this, a program at NCCR called Build Your Future. You can look it up, byf.org. There are significant tools and materials and videos on that website specifically focused on recruiting women into the construction trades. And we put a lot of time and effort into that as well. So in contradiction to what my friend who spoke before me said, we are not here in opposition to this bill. We are simply asking for inclusion in the bill because of our significant presence currently in the state of California. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman and member, Richard Markison for Western Electrical Contractors, Plumbing, Heating, Cooling Contractors of California, Air Conditioning Trade Association, the California chapters of the American Fire Sprinkler Association, and Associated Builders and Contractors of San Diego. Like Mr. Johnson, we agree with the author that the state needs to do more to have a more diverse population in the construction trades. We completely support that effort. We also agree with Mr. Johnson that the state should not set a de facto standard for pre-apprenticeship programs that mandates that they use a single curriculum. We think it should be left up to the pre-apprenticeship programs under the supervision of private post-secondary to pick the curriculum that best matches their population. This is not a one-size-fits-all scenario. You have rural districts, urban districts, well-developed areas of the state of California, and others where there are substantial apprenticeship programs that don't use the multi-core curriculum, and we think that the pre-apprenticeship programs should be able to tailor their curriculum to best fit their clients, and so we oppose that provision in the bill, but support the underlying premise of full inclusion and more diversity. Thank you.
Great, thank you. I just want to bring out anybody else that's in opposition, step forward. Seeing none, is there any questions for the committee? Wait, we have one more add-on. Okay.
Mr. Chair, members, John O'Malley representing Associated Building Contractors of California. We are not opposing this measure. We would like to agree with the two previous speakers and see an amendment accepted by the author to include the program that is used extensively in the state of California and throughout the country. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and go with Vice Chairman Stone.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Assemblywoman Burke. I think the theme of your bill is really a good one. It seems like both the opponents and the proponents can agree that we want to increase training. We want to get women more involved in the trades. Why not expand the choices to the NCCER organization that seems to have done also a pretty good job? I understand the issue of charging $20, but that would be a choice. Certainly that would be something that someone would consider before they embark on these training programs. It would just expand the choices. I think we all agree that we need to get more of our youth in the building construction trades. They say that 2/3 of Americans don't have $1,000 in their checking or savings accounts. These are good jobs. Why not give them the training from all sources if possible?
Right, and I appreciate that they support the underlying premise, and I appreciate your support of the underlying premise. And the reality is this bill actually doesn't stop them from continuing their program. The only thing this does is it would not allow them to use Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act funds. So their program can continue on as it has since its inception. It just wouldn't allow them to use these particular funds. That's all.
Does that create an unequal playing field, though?
Well, I mean, I don't think it creates an unequal playing field. I mean, we're talking about a population that has not entered into this field in large numbers, and we're talking about offering that opportunity to them for free. So, like you just said, there are a large number of people in America now who don't have $1,000 in their pocket to try a career that's a chance for a woman. I mean, they're taking a risk, and this allows them to take this risk without putting their families in any sort of monetary jeopardy.
Thank you for your answers.
Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate the question. I do appreciate the efforts of the author. I do believe we need more women in the trade, and any opportunity we could provide for them to be a part of the trade. I'm in full support, and would you like to do your closing?
The only thing I'd like to say is, the MC3 is a high-quality program. It is offered, and yes, everyone puts a lot into creating curriculum. This, however, is still provided for free. And our superintendent, Tom Torlakson, supports this program, and I think that, this is a great opportunity for women to have access to a career and a lifestyle that should be available to all. So with that, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
And right now, we don't have a quorum, so we'll make sure when the next, do you have one more?
Not rid of me yet.
Yes. So when we have a quorum, we'll make sure we bring up that item. Let's go ahead and do your last item, AB 2337.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair and Senators. According to the California Partnership to End Domestic Violence, approximately 40% of women experience physical, intimate partner violence. Such abuse causes trauma to the victim and negatively impacts their ability to live independently, parent, and maintain employment. Nationwide, women lose nearly 8 million days of paid work because of violence inflicted by their partners. This is equivalent to over 32,000 full-time jobs a year. In 2013, the legislature voted to ensure that when employees disclose that they are victims of domestic violence to their employers, they are protected from discrimination and retaliation. Additionally, these protections came with a guarantee to reasonably accommodations to remain employed. Today, too many people are still unaware that they are guaranteed these rights. In California, the Legal Aid Society Employment Law Center found that 40% of survivors reported being fired or feared termination due to intimate partner violence. AB 2337 requires employers to inform their employees in writing of their rights guaranteed under the existing law. There are victims in our state who quit their jobs, become further entrenched in abusive relationships, and become homeless in part because they feel disclosing their abuse to their employer is an additional burden. We must do our part to empower vulnerable survivors in the workplace. I respectfully ask for an aye vote when there's a quorum.
Thank you. Anybody, any witnesses in support? Any witnesses in opposition? Any question from the committee? Seeing none, would you like to close?
I respectfully request an aye vote when the time is right.
Yes, great bill. Thank you for bringing that forward, Assemblymember Burke, and at the appropriate time, we'll take it up. Thank you. All right, we'll have our next author, Assemblymember Levine. Please step forward.
Thank you very much, Senator Mendoza and members. AB 520 revises the annual report filed by the Division of Apprenticeship Standards and the California Apprenticeship Council to include any apprenticeship standards or regulations that were proposed or adopted in the previous year. Current law already requires an annual report to be submitted to the legislature containing data and statistical information on apprenticeship programs and actions taken to improve program completion rates. It is critical for the legislature and stakeholders to have as much data and feedback as possible about how the apprenticeship programs are working. Here to testify in support are Cesar Diaz on behalf of the State Building and Construction Trades Council of California, as well as Mike West from the Union of Painters and Allied Trades. Sorry.
Thank you. Witnesses support.
Good morning, Chair. It's very important to the International Union of Painters and Allied Trades that this dialogue on apprenticeship and standards and regulations remain open and continue forward, especially because it ties hand in hand with the existing law about women and minorities coming into the trades, percentages of apprentices, and the number of applications received, and most importantly, graduation rates. Also, the communication between the DIR and the legislature would keep it moving forward, and the new innovations within the industries and the changes in the apprenticeship standards would keep us on the cutting edge, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, members, Cesar Diaz on behalf of the State Building and Construction Trades Council also agree with Mr. West's comments, but just want to add on also that certain policies passed in the legislature promote and require the use of apprenticeship. It is only right to ensure that that data comes back to the legislature to understand what's happening, what those rates are, who's actually going through the apprenticeship programs, and how those apprenticeship programs are performing. We believe this bill achieves that, and respectfully, I ask your aye vote.
Thank you. Any others in support? Any witnesses in opposition? Okay, seeing none. Any comments from any? Nobody here? Okay, great. Would you like to close?
Respectfully ask for an aye vote when you have an opportunity.
Thank you, Senator Levine. Great bill. I appreciate you bringing it forward. And as soon as we have a quorum, we'll make sure we bring it up.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Next, we have Assembly Member Gonzalez.